does here.
It's just stupid. It's stupid to be able to spin out from pressure, run to my left, and throw the ball like that is crazy. And then I love their run game last night on the perimeter. CEH finishing some physical run for this offense. But Patrick Mahomes in that throw was crazy.
So this was a great game. Chiefs take a 21-17 lead. Now we go to the fourth quarter, and back and forth it goes. Derek Carr, Dan, went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes last night.
Second time this season. It's a great design. They bring Waller from the right side of their offense, scrape him across the back of the end zone, touchdown Raiders.
So the Raiders are up 3. Then Mahomes going to work. It's a fourth down. They're going for it. Of course they are. They get it. And then who's going to wind up cashing it in for the touchdown? Remember this. They still have Le'Veon Bell.
It's a great job. Short motion with Kelsey. Pick the end. And then Le'Veon Bell. Get the edge and just smell the end zone. Finish near the goal line. Touchdown Kansas City.
Raiders get it back. Does Derek Carr have an answer? Yes, he does. In fact, it's Jason Witten in the corner of the end zone, Dan, the ageless one.
Just a great feel by Witten. He pushes up to the back pylon, sees the scramble, now comes back to the front pylon. Carr finds him. Just an awesome job of securing that catch right as the ball crosses the goal line. Touchdown Raiders.
What's the problem, though, Rex? They left a minute 43.
Way too much time. Way too much time with Patrick Mahomes.
You know exactly what's coming. That's McCole Hardman for a nice gain later in the drive. It's Mahomes. Dan, his favorite target, no question, is Travis Kelce.
Yeah, Greeny, just a great job of seeing that backside safety. But this winner, this winner is an awesome job by Patrick Mahomes. They got Hill up top running the go route, Kelce on the seam. Move the pocket just because you know people are going to react. And then he finds Abrams driving him towards that line of scrimmage, and the ball just goes right over his. But watch this. He's moving for purpose to go break your soul. And that's a great job of him realizing safety drives. Kelce touchdown.
Kelce, 8 catches, 127 yards, and that one, which proves to be the game-winning touchdown. The Raiders would get it back with one last desperate chance, but Carr just sort of floats this, and Daniel Sorensen picks it, and that's all she wrote. So Mahomes, 34 of 45, 348 yards on the night, and the Chiefs avenge their only defeat of the season. But Ryan Clark, as I come to you to begin the conversation here, I feel like we can take a lot away from last night about the Raiders. And we know the Chiefs are great, and we know Mahomes is great. But what did we learn about the team they beat last night?
The Raiders are one of the top teams in the AFC. And offensively, I think they're right behind the Kansas City Chiefs of teams that truly scare you. They can beat you physically with Josh Jacobs and Devontae Booker running the football. And then outside, you have Henry Ruggs, who can take the top off of a defense. Nelson Aguilar, who has really come along there. And Darren Waller, who I think is as scary as Travis Kelce and George Kittle. And you have a quarterback right now playing with immense confidence, with understanding that he can push the ball down the field, understanding that he can use his legs to get outside the pocket, and competing at an extremely high level. This is going to be a team that you are scared to play in the playoffs, and they are going to be there, and I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs would be excited to see them either.
Well, let's start that, because if the season ended today, and obviously there's a lot left to figure out, those two teams would rematch in the first round of the playoffs. The game would be in Kansas City, of course. Dan, you think KC wants any part of the Raiders again?
I don't think anyone really wants to play the Raiders. You know, they've got this great kind of belief in who, like, it's John Gruden bringing the old school West Coast philosophy as far as making sure they stay balanced with the run and pass, but also the creativity of modern day offense, condensed formations, wide receiver splits, quarterback on the move, pre-snap motion. The Raiders are built really, really, really good. They're built in many ways to beat the Chiefs, control the football, be efficient on offense, have matchup problems. So no one wants to play the Raiders. They're really well coached. They've got a ton of talent. And Greeny, their quarterback, who everyone said 2 years ago stunk, and who everyone who said 3 years ago stunk, is playing as good quarterback in the NFL as you could ask. He's balling.
We always joke, John Gruden's favorite quarterback is always the next one he can get. Maybe this time he's found one he can win with. We'll take a short break. Wall-to-wall football in this very busy hour. Coming up, the best game. Huddling up on the field before the game in the center. John Harbaugh comes out. He's got an issue with Mike Vrabel. He's got an issue with Malcolm Butler. So this thing was chippy before it even kicked off. Now, Dan, third quarter, Ravens up 4. Lamar Jackson, he loves his tight end Mark Andrews.
I love the play design. It's a cover 3 beater. They send Andrews up, fake to the corner, go up the sideline, attacks that corner high, touchdown Ravens.
Ravens up 21-10, under 2 minutes to go. So that was good from Lamar. This one is a mistake with a lead.
Greeny, there's guys on your team that are opportunity type of throws. You give them one-on-one chances to go make a contested catch. Devin Duvernay is not that guy. Terrible decision by Lamar.
Titans would kick a field goal, so it's 21-16, and then Rex, how do you explain A.J. Brown getting in here?
That's just a great effort on his part, but awful by the Ravens, man. They look like that ain't the Ravens I know.
It's hard to believe that any defense, much less the Ravens defense, giving up the score.
I mean, and then that's a linebacker right there. Come on, man. Knock that dude back. I don't care how big and strong he is.
A.J. Brown setting a tone. Titans up 24-21 after a successful two-point conversion. Then it's Lamar Jackson scrambling 14 yards to get his team in field goal range in the final half minute. Justin Tucker, any doubt?
No doubt with this dude.
29 yards, and it's good. Big trust to force overtime, and that's where we go. So the Ravens win the coin toss, and then, Dan, they just go nowhere offensively.
There's no rhythm to their pass game. No one open for Lamar to go throw the football to. Their offensive line is getting beat with the pass rush from Tennessee, and then it's the finisher, Greeny. They see pressure off the right side, hand it off, shut out the gap. Derrick Henry, great vision, cut back across the field knowing the pressure came. Game over. Titans win.
That's your ball game. Henry 133 yards, and after the game, Mike Vrabel looking for a handshake with John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh wanted nothing to do with it. These teams don't like each other. The Titans get the win.
It looked like that team wanted it more than us. They was playing physical. When we went up, I feel like, we just took our foot off the gas, but we just got to keep it going. Finish teams.
All right, and so I don't know that this is really a very well-phrased question, but the only thing I can think of to say as I watch the Ravens play right now, Rex, is what the actual heck? Everyone talks about their offense, but the reality is their defense got bullied yesterday. That's not what you know the Ravens to be. It's not what Bart Scott sits there talking about. How do you explain it?
Gosh, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they got bullied, and bullies don't like to be bullied. That's what happened yesterday. And look, I respect the heck out of the other side more than focusing on the Ravens, because to me, the Titans, Mike Vrabel sat back. He's got a plan. He goes, you know what? We're going to keep running the ball. We don't care what happens. And then in the fourth quarter, what happens? He tires teams out, and then he runs right through you. That's what happened. More so than the Ravens playing so poorly on defense. It was the fact that the Titans just stuck with their plan and win the thing. Now, this right here set the tone for the game. They're like, hey, we're coming out here. We don't believe your hype. We've already punked you in the playoffs on this particular field. We think we own your field. Now, the fact that Harbs is out there by himself defending it sent a bad message to me. I'm like, come on, where are you at? There shouldn't be a brawl. We don't encourage it, but there should have been a brawl.
That's exactly the point. You don't want to see there be pregame violence, but frankly, that might have called for at least some sort of response. And Dan, you used a good phrase earlier today when you said the Titans are unapologetically who they are. The Ravens, on their offense, they look like they are somewhat apologetic about who they want to be, and they can't really make up their minds.
Yeah, Greeny, the Ravens don't have an identity, whether it's scheme or player. There's no one on the Ravens offense right now that a defensive coordinator sits there and goes, I'm scared of him. And that includes Lamar Jackson. And there's nothing about their scheme right now that will keep defensive coordinators up. Last year, this was the most fun, explosive, energetic, just confusing offense in the NFL. They got no identity right now. They don't know who they are or who they can turn to. And that's been the case all season. And they got question marks. And Greeny, I said this morning as well. Lamar Jackson last year got to operate in an environment of utopia. Offensive line was dominant. Receivers had tons of one-on-ones. People were running all over the field because everyone was confused. Not the case. You got some injuries. And this is when now you have to prove to everybody that you are the dude, that you are that franchise quarterback that can elevate everybody else when things aren't perfect, because that's the reality of their offense right now. It's not perfect, and it's not happening for Lamar in that offense.
So the Ravens will play at Pittsburgh on Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, but they have some very winnable games coming up after that. They still have the Cowboys, the Jaguars, the Giants, and the Bengals on their schedule. Does this look like a team that can make a playoff run? If I told you one of those teams we watched yesterday was going to make a deep run in the playoffs, Rex, which is it, Titans or Ravens?
Oh, gosh.